All right. Well, Dave's busy on the airbrush. I actually have a joke this evening, and it's a bad one. So this frog goes into a bank and hops up on the teller's seat. And the teller looks confused, and the frog says, "Hey, I want to get a loan." And she says, "I want to get you what?" "Yeah, I want to get a loan."
I know this
And
one.
the teller says, "What for? What do you need a loan for?" "Well, I want to get a lily pad." And he looks at her name tag and he goes, "Miss Whack."
Yeah, I know
And,
this one.
that was the name. And he says, I want to get a loan. She goes, "Okay, well, first, I guess." She pushes paper towards him and says, "Well, what's your name?" He goes, It's Kermit." She goes, "Kermit the frog?" "No, my last name's actually Jagger. My dad's Mick Jagger. He fucked the frog." Oh, okay. So, yeah, she says, "Okay, Kermit, do you have any collateral?" And he says, well, he reaches into his pocket and he says, he goes, "Here, I got this little pink elephant, this little ceramic pink elephant." And she looks at it and she goes, "Uh-huh. Let me go talk to my manager." She walks in the back and he goes, what is it, Patty?" And she says, "Well, there's this frog out there. It's Kermit Jagger, and he wants a loan." And he goes, "Oh, well, does he have any collateral?" He goes, "Yeah, he gave me this." And he hands the manager the little elephant. And he goes, what is this? And he's looking at it closely, and she goes, well, it's a knick-knack, paddywhack. Give the frog a loan. His old man was a Rolling Stone." I don't have a boo this man for me.
Fab Studios presents Figure Action. That one's me.
See, this is why that's why I'm not allowed to tell jokes here.
I can't believe I've never heard that one.
It's the long form joke. Oh, we got a frowny face in there. See, it's a frowny face, but when Dave tells him, he can get away with it. Pig says, "I've never wanted a Dave intro joke more." And Apoteki's just giving us the universal greeting. Well,
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, man.
See, Dave, there's a nice balance to this. It's like I come in and people just hate on the Dave joke. They don't know what they got till it's gone. Let me tell you. But
careful what you wish for, folks. All I can say, as they say.
Exactly. Be careful what you wish for. But hey, if you wished it was Thursday and you wished it was 9 o'clock, you're in luck. That means Figure Action's live. We are already chatting with some great people in the chat over there. So if you're watching us live on YouTube, do us a few favors. Smack that like button. It really helps us out a lot. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and get into that live chat. We've already got a lot of cool people chatting up with us. We'll be interacting with y'all throughout the course of the show, highlighting comments. And while you're at it, click the link in the description below. We've got our link to our Teespring store. I'm actually shilling for Doritos this evening. I don't have a Figure Action shirt on, but you can get some of the best priced podcasting merch out there. You're going to look good, and you're going to help support our channel. We've got a lot of varieties of shirts out there. I'm adding one more. I keep saying I'm adding one more, but I can say this. I do have the Silver Streak to give away. I said I was going to add another figure, and this is a figure people are having some trouble finding it. Not a lot of people collect red, but this is the reformatted Megatron. So you're going to get both of these guys and a shirt. And I have no excuses since it's the holiday weekend.
The thing for the red Megatron, though, folks, you have to win another contest to get rid of it.
Actually, if you've got a HasLab Unicron, or if you've got that reformatted Galvatron, he'll look great with it. I don't think people are going to want to get rid of this. I think this is a cool one to get, in all honesty. Well, it's an accessory more than it is a figure.
Based off the EMGO review, apparently it's better than the Super 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched his Super 7 Optimus review, and I was surprised how limited that thing was. To see that the elbows did like what 45 degrees.
Dave, you know, I would love to see what you're working on there, but judging
Oh,
from
you
the
will.
direction, is it G-rate? I mean, are you allowed to show that on YouTube, or
This is
would you
me.
be-
This isn't Matt.
I mean, I mean, you were airbrushing, you know, kind of.
You know those old silhouettes people used to make?
Yeah.
He's getting a head start on Valentine's Day.
Well, you know, there's only one thing worse than passing out asleep at a party and then finding a dick drawn on your face.
What's that?
Finding out that it was traced.
This is
There,
I mean,
Henry, that's for you.
I mean, you could be doing a little trace job. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You're working like way out here though, and
The worst
I don't think
is
you're that well
finding
enough.
a turkey on your face around Thanksgiving and finding out that was traced.
Let's see what you got there, Dave.
Yeah, let's find out not only what you got, how the hell are you, and what cool things you got this week.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll go to we'll get to what I'm working on next after I go through stuff. So, yeah, the camera is actually flipped around. That's why the Marvel Legends are behind me this time, as opposed to the usual high-end stuff. So, yeah, I've got a few Marvel Legends, by the way. I got a pretty good haul actually this week. It wasn't supposed to be, but it just kind of happened that way. I got a care package, and in that package, I got the White Sister of Battle Chase figure, which I really want to open, but not sure I want to. So there's my token Todd. But I also got the Joy Toy Iron Wrecker.
I was gonna say, is that a Joy Toy right there in front of you?
I got a Joy Toy. And yes, in front of me is the Steel Bone. This thing has got to be one of the most intimidating figures I have handled. Just trying to get this
so bad.
optimal configuration. So this was Matt's.
Really?
So Matt sold me his. The problem when I first got it though, I actually broke the pinky. The pinky broke off of this ice, and man, you could hear the expletive all through the neighborhood. But I did Gorilla Glue it on, and it's actually doing pretty well on there.
These things like sell out really fast too.
Huh?
These things sell out really fast. At least from what I've seen. Every time I see one that I want to get, I like put it in my cart and I'm thinking about it, and then by the time I actually decide I'm gonna pull the trigger, I'm gonna come off the money. It's gone.
I will say there's a bunch on AliExpress. I haven't seen them on Show Z. I haven't gone through Show Z, but I know they got them on AliExpress.
Check that out.
I mean, it's not the greatest thing that happened in mechs, but it is pretty. It's up there, and yeah, it does look good. We'll come back to this though in a second, because then I made the mistake of going by Target just to see what they had, and to prove one of Zero's theories. They didn't have much in the G.I. Joes, but they had a bat. So I'm like, you know what? I'll pick up another bat. Because, you know, like Zero has said, army builders are a thing of, I happen to be in the aisle, okay, I'll grab another.
Yeah. Should be evergreen.
I'm going to have a lot of bats. I still got my...
Are you going to make a
Still haven't
belfry?
found my other alley vipers, but I got bats. Being part of the problem, I did pick up the blue Space Ranger because with the surfboard. And now that I bought this, it's going to go on clearance.
I want to talk about the Target clearances, because I don't know if you saw T's post earlier in the chat.
Also, because again, I have a problem. I did pick up Echo from the Bad Batch. Because I got Mandalorians in Bad Batches. Then I ran into the NECA rep who said I should come back in 15 minutes, so I listened to him. And then I picked up a Panther alien. And then of course, channeling my inner Matt, I then picked up a cougar.
I'm curious to hear which one you like best, because they're the same mold, right?
You know the difference between a panther and a cougar, right?
There's a joke in there.
Well, of course, a panther can pull something twice its size up a tree. A cougar can pull something half her age into a bed. So, you guys may have seen in the background the last couple weeks, I had a piece of green foam, and so I decided to finally today do something with it. And I haven't done any crafting in a while, so what I've been working on is actually look at this, guys. I'm fancy. I'm fancy. It's got magnets. So I'm working on basically a hanger diorama.
And it's got magnets embedded in it?
See.
Oh, it attaches with magnets. Nice.
Yeah.
How do they work?
That is awesome.
Science.
So are you going to have other pieces that are going to be like scaffoldings or platforms and whatnot?
I'm not sure yet, because you see, notice, because with this right here, I can use this for a couple things, not just for a mech hanger. So I'm going to be doing some dry brushing here, but notice I put some scratches on here.
Mm-hmm.
So this could also work well for an aliens display.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try these things for a couple different things.
I dig it.
So yeah, when you guys see me doing stuff, I'll be muted, but this is what I'm going to be working on. I am actually very, very proud of this. This isn't as ambitious as like the castle was, but this is, working with new materials and not making a castle. That's all I've been doing is medieval stuff. So going for a science fiction setting, and then eventually I'll probably do the street dio that everybody else does. But it's like I'm trying to do everything but a street dio. And yes, I am excited for Obi-Wan.
I'm pretty sure Matt and T will probably be watching at like 3 a.m. when it goes live.
Though, spoiler, when he does finally run into Vader again, Vader wins the fight.
I see what you did there. Though we don't know. They could retcon.
So that's me. Joe, it's been for ages. What have you been doing? What have you got? I see you're in Namek.
Well, yeah, I'm on Namek. I got something Dragon Ball Z related actually. It's Earth's strongest man.
That does not look like Yamcha.
Oh, come on, man! How dare you say that? Yeah, I actually just opened it, so I'm just messed with it for the first time. I've hurt my back again.
Oh man!
And I know the feeling. I've been carrying the show the last month.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm actually I'm pinpointing it down to, I think my car is part of the problem. The car is like super low to the ground. You sit in it kind of like, with your legs way stretched out in front of you because it's like a sporty car, and I think that's a problem. So I don't know. It might be getting rid of that car soon, because I can't drive it for more than an hour without not being able to walk.
I got a suggestion. Get a back wheel, like one of those chirps.
Yeah, what? I've actually seen that pop up, and it's probably going to pop up on my Facebook now again that you said that.
Because the thing to know about them is those are not just for cracking your back. You actually can stretch your back out on those, and they come with a little book that tells you all like the exercises, and I have one. I use it pretty regularly.
Yeah, and I go to the chiropractor. Oh, I can't wait for Dragon Ball Superhero 2. I'm kind of worried about this though, because I am strongly in the camp of make Gohan great again. And I keep seeing these images of a not great Gohan still being a nerd. So, not that there's anything wrong with being a nerd, but man, after the Cell games, I had so much hope for Gohan. I thought he was going to be like the main guy, and then they just nerfed his ass and went straight back to Goku. But I'm excited nonetheless. I'm looking forward to that. And I am also looking forward to Obi-Wan. Can't wait to watch that.
I have a question for everybody. Is anybody else going to go see G.I. Joe the movie? They're doing a Fathom Events, I believe June 23rd. So there's apparently the 35th anniversary of the movie this year. So I'm planning on going to see it, even though I've seen it a billion times.
No, I wasn't planning on going to see that.
They'll probably give a little poster. I'll frame it. Oh, yeah. And I have the when I did the Fathom Events Transformers movie, which I think was the 35th anniversary of that when they gave out the posters. I framed that poster. It's in my basement.
Now, would you go to a re-release of the G.I. Joe live action movie?
Yes, I would actually.
Yeah.
It's so bad it's good. Like the Channing Tatum one.
Yeah,
I remember
the first one was better than it should have been. Okay,
Yes.
We all were walking in expecting like the stupid suits and things like that, and
yes. And when the robot shark showed up, I was like, okay, they got it. they got it. They got. The
I had only
spirit
one
there.
problem with that movie, and that's when Cobra Commander said, "You and what army?" I was just like, "Fuck that."
Who played Destro? That wasn't Ralph Fiennes that was Destro. Who was it? That's driving me nuts.
Top Gun comes out this week?
Yeah, Top Gun and the Bob's Burgers movie both come out tomorrow or tonight, actually. So I do want to go. I want to see both of them. I feel like Top Gun's going to be a hard sell for Lex. She's like, I'll see the Bob's Burgers movie because you like Bob's Burgers.
I'm actually excited for Top Gun. I didn't know it was so soon though. I thought it was like next month.
And it's all practical effects.
Yeah.
Like they have there's an article about how there's like one shot that they could only film once because it blew the roof off the hangar that they were next to.
I think the older he gets, the more crazy he gets.
Yeah, you know what's crazy too? Talking about his age, it's like seeing the side by side of Tom Cruise and Kelly McGinnis.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Time was not kind to one of those. But when you're Tom Cruise and you've got an entire religion behind you and a shitload of money.
Yeah, where they can like pump the blood of virgins into you.
Yeah. He's
So-
getting up there.
Do a little share screen here. Yeah. Take my breath away, indeed. But yeah, I'm excited for the weekend. I'm excited to get a 3-day weekend, and hopefully tomorrow is a light day at work. I think a lot of people are checked out because this project has been fairly draining on everybody. So I'm hoping that we get a break from the rain. I'm hoping that my pool is swimmable. We're waiting for like the chemical balances to balance out, and other than that, it's been a week. So it'd be nice to get a light day tomorrow, enjoy a 3-day weekend. We got a graduation party. I smoked a lot of pork, and I'm freezing it in anticipation. So yeah, as for acquisitions, I didn't get much over the course of the past couple weeks I was out. If you saw, if you checked out Pig for Life's channel, I was on his Pakerty, which I got a lot of grief on that final Jeopardy question because I completely drew a blank. It is tough when you're on the spot. Like everybody kept telling me, like that I was the one to look out for. And I was like, yeah, T knows a lot of very obscure facts about Transformers. Don't sell them out, but I think when he was on the spot, it got to him, and so I think next time I'm on, hopefully I'll be a little bit warmed up. And I got that reputation now where I'm like the Bayverse guy because I knocked out all the Bayverse questions, which I fucking hate those movies. I'm sorry, but somehow I knew everything about them, and that concerns me. Memo, what's going on, man? So as for my acquisitions, I got Hannibal, and this is probably the most enjoyable Fans Toys figure I've got in a minute. I really like the transformation of him. He just turns into a head, but he's neat. I do have on mine the head doesn't. It's more or less like TM reviews, not like T-Man's. Like the head doesn't eject, but it doesn't take much to get it off, but it'll stay on. So,
I had that problem in my youth.
Transformation's neat. I kind of wish that they had like foregone the gimmick, the spring gimmick that's causing the head to pop off for people. But for a monochromatic figure, he's neat. He's cool. I also, on a random Target clearance, I got myself a Doctor Strange. This is the new Doctor Strange from Multiverse of Madness. He was $650. So I didn't have a Doctor Strange in my collection, and he's pretty good. He's got all pinless joints. He comes with 2 additional sets of hands, these effect hands. And lastly, I thought I got one more. Oh, yeah, I did. On May the 4th, I ordered this. I collect the Star Wars Black Series helmets, and I got my re-armored Boba Fett helmet. So I can't remember if I showed this off or not, but I got that. It was on sale. And yeah, it's neat. So it goes on my shelf of helmets. And that's it for me. So we can get into Dave's favorite segment of the show. Go ahead and, of course, it would help if I had it pulled up.
This week in repaints.
All right, so the Walmart exclusives kind of are trickling out a little bit more. This is rumored to be Clampdown for the Velocitron set. Basically what you'd expect, sideswipe repaint. I don't think too many people are probably really excited for this because nobody's really going to have attachment to it. It was an eHobby exclusive character.
They're getting their money out of that mold, that's for sure.
They are. We had a chat with TM Reviews. He's like, man, they need to retire that mold. But on the flip side, it's a good mold. You know, they're using the Earth version here, as you can see.
Be right back. 1 second.
I will probably get this. I like the fact that he comes with the shoulder cannon and the rifle. Throughout Siege, we kind of had an issue with that. I'm sure if T was here, T would be like, skip. Matt's not going to do it. I'm sure Dave is out on this, so I'm the lone one. Joe, you got any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it would be a skip for me as well.
Yeah, I figured. Now, what is interesting, so Matt actually found the Walmart Beast repaints for me, and I only wanted 2 of them initially. I only wanted Sandstorm, and I wanted Sandstorm kind of reluctantly, just because I always wanted the BotCon one. Buzzsaw was the one I wanted the most, and I said skip on Night Prowler, but then when Matt was there, I had FOMO. I said just get all 3 of them. They came and went. They're gone. So I'm kind of curious what these Walmart Velocitron repaints are going to be. Whether they're just going to be, kind of there and gone. Walmart's exclusives are kind of notoriously flaky. So, and it's interesting too, because like Night Prowler, I thought was the least interesting, and he's okay. He's just a Cheetor repaint. That's an Autobot. But there are a lot of people that wanted him, which is interesting. They're upset they can't find him. So I'm kind of curious how these are going to pan out. And the next one is also a Velocitron Walmart exclusive. So, again, I'm a Hasbro Pulse Premium member. I'm probably going to order these there. And this is the one that I think everybody is going to want. So, of course, everybody's favorite YouTuber to get early releases in questionable ways. Prime versus Prime got this figure in hand. And yeah, so we get our look at the.
I
the scores.
almost like it, but they made some aesthetic choices that actually really turned me off to this figure.
Yeah, and I'm there with you. Like I've seen digibashes of the figure because, like, again, like the he's never had red, like
All that
red windows.
There was no reason for any of that red translucence. They could have just. I actually would have been happy with flat black plastic and stickers, to be honest. Just black and teal, teal, and gray.
It's interesting too that you mentioned the stickers because I feel like, with what they're doing with the Cyclonus, the toy version of Cyclonus, they could have done that here. They could have given us this contemporary kind of deco, and then if you want, you have stickers for the chest, the shoulders. I really wish that they hadn't used this transparent plastic for like the wheel wells. To me, that makes it look super cheap, and I know why they did it because like
it completely turned me off to this figure. I was actually looking forward to this one. I was saying I'm passing on the Laser Prime. I'm waiting for this. This comes out. Wow, I'm saving more money.
I mean, I do like that they painted the trailer because that was a big problem on Laser Prime. But again, they could have done what they did with Laser Prime and just put the paint on the bot.
Or, like I said, even lack of paint on the bot and just stickered it.
Yeah. Like, I would have rather they had just instead of doing this transparent. And there, it's interesting too. Speaking of transparency, there's a lot of people, every Hasbro Transformers chat, there are people calling for them to stop using transparent plastic, which I disagree with. I think they should use it sparingly. Effortless Random says the Netflix Nemesis Prime had red windows. Yeah, that it did. But I guess the thing is like
but
the
this
Nemesis,
isn't Nemesis Prime.
Right.
It's
exactly.
Scourge. He's got the upside down symbols. He's Scourge.
Right, or Black Convoy, depending on what you want. But
I mean,
Black Convoy
Black Convoys
and Nemesis,
matter.
Yeah, Black Convoy and Nemesis Prime. And I think in most people's books are two different characters. Yeah, I just think there's way too much black on the torso. I'm willing to bet that Takara Tomy takes this and does it right, and then everybody will be selling this one off.
I'm just not buying it. They saved me $50 or whatever it's going to be.
Or you could get it and paint it, Dave.
Yeah, well, that's an option too.
You can buy this and paint it. You can use that little airbrush you got there.
If I'm paying more than $25 paying more than $25 for a figure, I should not be having to alter it.
I agree. That said, I think Repro Labels is going to have a field day with this, and I think that they're going
absolutely.
To put out...
So then you have to buy a $50 figure and a $20 set of stickers. Great. So it becomes a $70 figure.
They can't fix those wheel wells with Repro Labels, though. Some of it, but not all of it.
Well, I don't think you need to fix the wheel well. Yeah.
And Patriot Prime will make the greatest video to watch putting those stickers on.
That he will. I love watching his Repro Labels reviews, to be honest.
I wasn't being sarcastic. The dude makes it into a freaking art form.
Yeah. But
next.
Yeah. Well, we'll get out of repaints, and we're going to get right into... we don't normally cover these sort of articles, but I thought it was interesting. Little comparisons between some of the upcoming figures and their mold mates / previous molds. So first up, we get a look at Wild Rider here. In-depth transformations on him, but this is the interesting one. Knockout, early on, someone had pointed out that he was actually a very like a retool of Jazz from the Studio Series 86, so you get a direct comparison with that Jazz mold. and
Wow.
you can see the shared parts, the legs. It's just
I'm
interesting.
impressed.
Yeah, very interesting to see. Looks like the upper arms are the same. Actually, the arms as a whole might be the same. And then, of course, you get Knockout compared to his prime.
I don't have that figure.
Yeah, I had skipped on it. I'd always hoped they would come out with something better, but they never did. I was like holding out for like maybe they'll do one for Beast Hunters and they'll do a new deluxe with removable armor.
Oh god, the Beast Hunters one was atrocious. It had like a crocodile theme.
Yeah. And of course the car modes. The car modes couldn't be more different. The only shared parts really are the wheels.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Alita one, just really a comparison to show how different she is from the Netflix one.
Which I wish I never bought.
At least, and lastly, this one, you just kind of get a quick comparison between Wild Rider and Drag Strip, and his Combiner Wars counterpart, which was okay for its time, I guess. It didn't have a good weapon at all.
The Stunticons are impressing me.
Yeah. But cool stuff coming out there.
Wasn't Wild Rider like an exclusive?
Yes, Toys R Us and online. And speaking of the Stunticons, we actually got a height comparison of the combined Menasor. So you can see Menasor next to some Voyager figures here, or I guess quote unquote leader.
I'm sorry, it's awesome, and I hate it all at the same time because again, the trailer is Menasor. It's like you don't even need the rest of them. You could actually have the Stunticons and Menasor.
I'm really curious how Motormaster is going to go in here. Like, is this just going to be like a big hollow shell that he just kind of like slots into? Is he going to go in like like in his truck form, like the X-Trans bots?
It's like I love it and I hate it all at the same time.
Now, this one's interesting because this is, and again, I get that the trailer is a Commander class figure. Well, the trailer and Motormaster. I don't know how I feel about Menasor being the same height or just a hair taller than Jetfire.
Jetfire was a big boy.
Yeah, he is a big bot, but I never really thought about him being combiner sized, you know.
Yeah.
I know the whole if you think about it, the whole mass shifting thing, theoretically he could have been, because everybody rode him up to Cybertron in the Ultimate Weapon, because I'm that nerd.
Yeah. And Aquateki, yeah, they are splitting Dragstrip in half. Matter of fact, I can show you real quick how that works. So I have a Dragstrip here. And I'm guessing on the arm of Menasor, what you're going to have is when you port him in, there will be a little tab. So if you look right here, focus camera, there is a slot. So if I take my spudger and slot that in there, he actually pops apart.
See, that's a feature Studio Series Jazz should have had.
Absolutely. And I know how much you hate that figure.
Actually, didn't Masterpiece Jazz have that feature?
Masterpiece Jazz does have that feature, and he also comes with an accessory piece for his like cyber guts and spine. So,
I mean, yeah.
And you know, the legs are apparently Combiner Wars compatible, but the arms are not, according to Hasbro. But why you'd want to put CW legs on there is a mystery. A mystery to me. Moving on, wrapping up our official news. Actually, got two. Well, I'll skip this one. The Jada Toys.
Yeah, skip it.
Yeah, that transforming Optimus Prime is hitting.
We could care less. We could care less. We've made the jokes, but we could care less.
Did that
And
Lego
then-
Optimus Prime really
We got
good?
better things to talk. We got better things to make fun of.
Lastly, the July loot crate that comes with that awful statue does come with an awesome Beast Wars shirt. So hopefully, I don't know if people know this, loot crate shirts tend to show up in places like Five Below. This is a really cool shirt, and I just wish that loot crate didn't come with such a crappy statue. But
How have we not seen a trailer for this movie that's supposedly being made?
Because it got delayed.
Everything's getting delayed.
I read a really interesting article that most people in 2022 are not playing new video games.
Name a good video game that's come out in the last 3 years new that didn't need to be like overly patched.
Well, Elden Ring didn't need to be overly patched, but the problem is Elden Ring is a game that we didn't necessarily have the time for. Anything Nintendo has never needed to be excessively
fair.
patched.
I'll give you that one.
But
you know what I mean, like the AAA stuff. I mean, everything else. Every time a game came out, it kind of fell flat.
Wait and see, and then by the time the game's worth playing, it's like $10. So, Roland Range actually has a good point here. If Loot Crate actually sends it to you, I know we covered this a while back, but like Loot Crate's NECA turtles have not gone out to customers yet. So, yeah,
it's California. Everything's stuck there right now.
Yeah. So, Fans Hobby continues to trickle out shots of this. We now have a test shot color picture of their.
This pisses me off. This figure's not supposed to look that good.
So, the figure also has a name, Energy Commander. And so, non-painted test shot.
One of the worst Prime designs ever, and they're making it look good.
Fans Hobby, you know that you got to give it to them.
I am giving it to them. It's making me mad. It's making me want it.
I always like the concept of this Prime. I like the concept of like Prime having drones that became like interchangeable limbs for his like super mode. And yeah, like you see all the arm modes here. I think they did a really awesome job of making these like arms and legs. I'll be curious to see like what the ankle articulation's like on these, whether it's just toe, like an actual toe tilt or what it is, because in these pictures it's I mean it's there, but it doesn't look like it's like extreme at all. But yeah.
Dad bod Prime.
Oh, that Prime got so many jokes about his body proportions, because that Prime had the worst proportions ever in the original toy and in the cartoon.
Yeah, that was the thing I was about to say. Is like in the cartoon, they didn't even try and make it look good.
Oh,
like the
cartoon, all those figures were beyond toy accurate. If you ever can suffer through an episode of the show, really Sportimus. Anyway, if you can ever suffer through an episode of the show, they actually like have the screw holes in the digital character design.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, I think the only thing like Fans Hobby really couldn't do is salvage that truck mode all that much.
No, that trailer, not even they could salvage that trailer.
Yeah, but it is accurate to what it was, so. Yeah, I'm like 100% in on this. I'm just like waiting for Fans Hobby to say, hey, this is our release date. I'm guessing this will probably be end of the year sort of thing.
Well, that
Architects
show had some great designs. I mean, Starscream had a neat design. The Megatron was pretty cool. I loved that. Remember that had laser wave shock blast coming back
yes,
in that satellite tank mode,
and the Soundwave, or was he Sound Blaster?
No, there was no Soundwave in that one.
Oh, I'm thinking Cybertron.
Yeah,
Cybertron had the stealth bomber jet Soundwave. And it also, well, Blaster was a.
well, Blaster was just a toy only repaint.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm 100% in on this one. So, next up, we get a little bit of Legends news. I we've been kind of moving away from covering the New Age stuff, but I feel like this one is worth talking about because it's just a really cool looking Grimlock. So Ymir. So some people are complaining about the legs on this because there's nothing covering it up.
Didn't they just do a release saying they're fixing the legs?
Yes. So they are acknowledging that. Even if they didn't, it's like this is a Legends class figure, and I think outside of the legs, I really think that this looks like it could be like an updated masterpiece, like in the Toon aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't know any better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what gives it away the most though is that the rest of it is so spot on and accurate that seeing that egregious waffling just really stands out.
Yeah.
If there was like other waffling somewhere, then it probably would almost be like a pass. But the rest of it is so freaking perfect. I've toyed around with the idea of just like getting rid of Masterpiece stuff and just like going all in on New Age. But just because, for space, well,
right,
cost too, but
well, cost now.
They are expensive for the amount of what you get. But when you talk about when you look at it as in like some of the Masterpiece scale stuff is like $400, and in that same amount of space, you can fit, you can have a little display of like 6 Legend scale figures. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not, but I've thought about it.
I think from a display standpoint, it would be nice. It would be nice to consolidate down to like, hey, instead of having 8 Detolfs, I suddenly have 4, or not Detolfs, Billies. I could have like 4 Billies and have like anything and everything. But at the same time, I do like the Masterpiece scale. I like when I have a figure that's like here, Hannibal here. I like this size. I like the heft of the figure, and I like the presence.
Well, I mean, there's pros and cons to both. I mean,
yes.
Imagine having a Legends Transformer collection looking like my Marvel Legends collection behind me. Now, don't get me wrong, that's going to cost like, oh dear God, but still, you could do it because you could have, I've got IDW, I've got G1, I've got Stylized.
Well, I think one of the things that the scale difference really does is it not only just fits more into a same space, but you also gain that verticality in your display.
Yes.
So you can have them flying and jumping, and you can get stands and all kinds of things. And you can build dioramas around it, and you can really just do a lot more with it.
There's more versatility to your displays.
How impressive are those Legends displays at TFCon?
They're very impressive.
Amazing. And when they look this good, man, it's like you're definitely not sacrificing any kind of aesthetic. It looks
not
great.
at all. It's just now they're $60.
More often than not, you can't even tell that they're Legend scale when you look at them. Like you would think that this could have been a larger scale.
Well, I often say, like, had Combiner Wars not been what it was, I probably wouldn't have gotten into Masterpiece as deep as I had. And I often think, like, I'm collecting the mainline stuff and Masterpiece, so I don't really have room for Legends. Like, if I were to switch to Legends, something would have to give. But for me, it's like, I often think, like, man, if I was just doing Chug scale, what could my collection, be like? Because I feel like again, like this drag strip here. This is a damn good drag strip, and even though it's not a legend scale figure, it's of the size where I can get a lot more out of my displays, and I think this doesn't present itself really as a toy. It doesn't have the presence of a masterpiece or a Legends, but it's not super toyetic. So it's like that whole balancing act, finding what comes off as an impressive display. It's there's really no way to go wrong right now, I think.
No, and I think also too, it also depends on like when you started building your collection. Like if I was starting now, if I was somebody that like starting from scratch, and I could look back and see like, wow, look at this lineup that New Age has, and then sit down and do like how many figures you can get for the $1, and then what you can do with that display space. Like this picture right here is actually a perfect example of it, because can you imagine how much space you would need to create that in Masterpiece?
Oh, a ton.
You would need a ton of space.
Well, not to mention,
you could put this
so
in a
heavy.
building, and then you can have other figures around it, and you can recreate the whole thing. And like, but when even me that started like a lot later than you guys, New Age was just starting to trickle stuff out, and you don't know at that time, like, are they really going to keep, are they going to keep this up, or are they just going to be like,
Oh yeah, I mean,
one of these companies that puts out a few figures and they're done and then they're gone? But New Age is stuck around, and they've been hitting, home run after home run. So it's not a bad way to go. Like I think if I was starting a collection now, I would probably lean that direction.
The one thing to say too about the Legend scene is that characters keep getting redone, like far faster than the Masterpiece figures are. Like if you missed the boat on, but if you missed the boat on a character in Masterpiece, even in third party, it can take you a while to actually wait for them to come and say like, oh, hey, now we're finally getting back to doing Prowl. You might be having to pay big bucks to get a Prowl in your collection if you don't want to wait. I always say patience saves pockets, but with a lot of people, they just want to get their collection off the ground, and they want the core characters. And the thing I notice about Legends all the time is they are constantly getting those core characters, and there's competition doesn't seem to matter.
Definitely.
So, if you want to collect Masterpiece Dinobots right now, your best options are Fans Toys and Gigapower, and both options I think are pretty expensive.
I'm still trying to complete my Fans Toys set, and I wish because they just re-released some during my collecting lull, and I probably missed out on them, so I'll have to probably wait to see if they do another re-release or try to get them, on the black market.
Which ones are you missing?
I'm missing
Swoop.
I'm missing Swoop for sure, and Sludge, I think. Can't remember. They're in a box. I've got 3, and I can't remember which one I'm missing.
I wish I had the space and funds for Legends. I feel like I'd have fun with them, but
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that looks great.
And he's definitely got
that
the most posable
so much
arms.
better than any of the Grimlocks I have seen.
Yeah. I feel like Takara Tomy will probably just out of nowhere come out with a Grimlock 2.0. Will probably have.
Oh, they probably will.
And one thing to be said about the Fans Toys ones is the Fans Toys figures, while they're far better than the Grimlock at least is far better than the Takara Tomy one. They don't have the Toon aesthetic. Like when I go down in my collection, I'm like, yeah, these kind of have the old MP aesthetic, for better or for worse. I can see. And we'll talk Fans Toys in just a second here, because they've bumped up at 8. Next up, I want to talk about this another Iron Factory set, or another Legend set, I should say. This is the Iron Factory Lio Kaiser, which
That looks really good.
Yeah, I wish this was bigger. Breast Force Team is what I think this is called.
They're technically not. I mean, I don't think they got the little Breast Force guys, but
no. But I think Breast Force.
Man, this is one I've been. I mean, the closest I didn't get the TFC one because of the leg issues. But I'm I am a Victory fan, so.
I would love to see Zeta tackle this set.
Oh my god! I've mentioned that if Zeta did that, I would be all over that.
Even do it under the Moon Studios moniker.
I think it would do better with the Moon Studios aesthetic of complete construction, because again, it's 6 figures, so it doesn't need the parts form.
Right.
Because it is technically.
But yeah, all we got right now are the renders. I think there's been a grayscale render of the combined mode, at least the upper torso. But looking good so far. Again, little things you see. Next up, DNA Designs has a couple kits coming out. First, they've got an update for. Oh man, I just lost her name.
Yeah.
I know Dropkick.
Murphy? No.
Shatter. Thank you. Shatter. Shatter is getting 2 upgrade kits here. The first one, let me go in here. For her car mode, or for her car version, they're coming out with new legs and a new movie accurate head. Like the first Shatter actually shipped with the concept art head, which maybe you could view as a battle mask, but she never used that in the movie. And then also there is an upgrade for the Jet version that gives her actual hinged elbows instead of the ball joints. So Dino is also getting one, and his is actually pretty interesting. It's just giving him ankle rockers, which I think is pretty cool. I wish Studio Series, I really wish, like with Generations, they would just go to a standard, because I hate the fact that Studio Series is somehow exempt from the core articulation points that like the War for Cybertron trilogy Legacy has to adhere to. The Bayverse spots, like it irks me so much when they don't have ankle tilt.
Bayverse spots just irk me in general. I mean, I know you're the Bayverse expert, but
eventually we'll have to go up against one another on Pakerty.
In the end, there can be only one, Duncan.
I'm going to get a foam hat for the next one. And when Pake asked me about it, I was like, yeah, it's funny because it's big. Yeah. So,
I understood that reference.
Turd Ferguson. Yeah. So, I would probably get, depending on the price, I'd probably order these kits. The car Shatter definitely needs the fixed head, and Dino. Actually, I've never opened Dino. He's still in box. He was purchased while I was mid move, and I've never opened him. So maybe I'll do that. Lastly, on the docket, Fans Toys has actually, and this was actually something that Matt, I think, noticed. So Fans Toys Outrider, their version of Trailbreaker, it's moved up in its release window. So one thing about that is...
You think that the announcement of the Takara one had anything to do with it?
I think it had a lot to do with it. So Matt keeps a spreadsheet of all of the figures that are coming out, and he checked on it. I can't recall what site he checked, but I'm willing to bet probably Toy Dojo. And he noticed that it had moved up to, I believe, did he say it was originally September? Oh no, it had moved up to September. So I think it was supposed to be originally for later in the year, and now the estimated release is September. The Takara Tomy Trailbreaker is coming out in, I recall, January. So
I think it's the first time that Fans Toys and Takara actually really have gone truly head to head with a response like that.
So this one's a bit interesting because it's like you go back to why they created Robot Paradise, and I mean you can argue that Soundwave is a far more popular character in Transformers lexicon than Trailbreaker, but it makes you wonder everything that happened with Zeta and their Unicron, where they had to form Studio Cell. Do you think this is going to potentially get Fans Toys in any hot water?
I mean, this is actually going to be the acid test right here.
Yeah,
I think so. There are a lot of Trailbreaker fans. I actually canceled outright. I'm like, I don't need to. I get the
there's a lot of
Tomy
people
ones.
who have the philosophy of they get the third party, and then when the original, and then when the supposedly when the actual official one came out, that's when you sub them out.
Right.
The third party's the placeholder until Takara makes it.
But then there is that school where there are a lot of people that view Fans Toys as superior to Takara Tomy.
Well, then Fans Toys kind of changed that game because of that.
Right. Like,
I'm not saying they're wrong, because said then Fans Toys started doing that of third party being better, and then all of a sudden
Fans Toys, I think, is the only third party that actually holds its value in the secondary market, and that's even when Takara Tomy does a character that they've already done. Like in the case of Hound plummeted in price, but then the Takara Tomy Hound came out, and it wasn't all that. And people were like, hey, I was a fool to sell Willis, because Willis is a far better made figure.
that there's the first thing that happened. Takara's their QC all of a sudden went downhill.
Yeah, well, their materials, I think, were part of that. Like in going to this, shifting
their
this
materials, their, I mean, I liked the original MPs. For me, it was right when Sun came out. That's when the game changed.
Right, that's when they shifted to that Hypertoon aesthetic.
Right, Joe?
right. Sorry, I was messing with my little tiny man.
Whoa! But yeah, this is like you said, this is going to be an interesting acid test, and it's going to be. I personally think Fans Toys will come out of this unscathed. I think, really, at the end of the day, Takara Tomy is at an advantage. One, they're releasing their Trailbreaker at a much lower price point. Even if you're buying it from a domestic U.S. based seller, it is still $30 to $40 less than the Fans Toys offering. So
I don't know. I think they'll be fine. I still think that there is some sort of unofficial backdoor collusion going on between these two companies, because but Dave is right. Now this is the first time they're going head to head, and this will be an acid test. I don't know what's going to happen, but I kind of have a feeling that all this time there's been some handshakes going on, some padded handshakes. But who knows? Maybe now, they're taking a direct shot at him.
yeah.
Shots fired. Shots
But
fired.
you know what, though? It could also be that they are okay with doing this test and seeing, like,
Right.
because if you look back at history, I bet you they're selling, both companies are pretty much selling every single figure they can make. So
Yes.
if they come out at the same time and both companies still sell every single figure they can make, then
In the case of Unicron, I think it was a little different because they were selling, like, I got my studio sell Unicron for, I want to say, $180 through an independent seller. Now, granted, now it's like $400 to $500. It was definitely $185, but that was half. Even at the regular retail price, that was half the cost of the HasLab one. But you also have to wonder, like, how many of these people that are buying the Fans Toys one will also buy the Takara Tomy. Is like Takara Tomy like confident that, like, there are a lot of collectors that are like, I gotta have the official, but
Yep.
I want the third party one as well.
Yep.
Like, where it's kind of like the symbiotic relationship that they have now.
Mhm.
Sportimus says, even though they're both Trailbreaker, they're different enough from each other. They'll be fine. I agree. Like, the Takara Tomy is hyper tune, and with Outrider, I kind of think he is a little bit more the old Masterpiece aesthetic.
Yep. I agree.
Moving out of our Transformers news, we'll go right into the Star Wars reveal from today. We got the third sister, Reva, and they are doing vintage and Black Series as well as the retro collection. Yeah, this character will be in the new show. I'm guessing there might be some Jedi Fallen Order connections to what's going on. I love that game. If you haven't played it, check it out. It's interesting. She comes with her Inquisitor lightsaber as well as a spare single lightsaber. So I don't know if that's toilers or what.
Well, you
actually,
should always
wait.
have a spare. No, that might be a toiler.
Yeah, it looks like she comes maybe with two. So. Still shocked we haven't got the second and the ninth sister from Fallen Order. And I still want to know, like, who is the market for these?
Desk bots.
Yeah.
Grandma gets them for her kids at the drugstore.
Yeah. So the retro collection one, as if she came out in 1978. It's a thing. It's a thing you can buy.
It is a thing you can buy.
Meanwhile, you have the vintage collection one, which, for a 3 3/4 inch figure, this also looks incredibly good. Like, I'd be really curious to talk to somebody that collects the vintage collection stuff. And again, there you have access to the vehicles, you have access to,
And they also look really good on card. The thing is,
they do look very good.
I love that packaging.
And I feel like the vintage collection stuff is far more available than the Black Series stuff at this point. So at least at brick and mortar, like if you order online, you can still, for the most part, get the Black Series figures that you want. So anyway, moving on, we also have another reveal from Hasbro. They are doing a Marvel Legends VHS style morph. So I don't think
I love and hate this figure. Part of me wants it, but not because it's morph.
Spill the
Like,
beans.
I could do that thing is a kit bashing dream. Like, I'd put those legs on Cyclops in a heartbeat because those are the better legs. That head sculpt and the other one would look so much better on the hood versus that shouting one.
Yeah, I don't think this looks anything like the animated series morph. Like,
it's a good generic X body.
Yeah, it's a good. The body. The body looks fine, but like the face is just so off.
Well,
Like
again, now I put that face on the hood. That would look awesome.
interesting that it seems like they're abandoning the cell shading.
For this one, yes. So they're trying so you can put morph in basically in either of your collections.
It's cool that they're doing it. Actually, I do see that they did do a little bit of cell shading. Like, see here on the left leg. They have it like right there on the strap and right on the boot. Now, and also under his pectorals. So it's probably a little too soon. I wish the sculpt was better, to be honest.
I don't think it's worth the price that they're charging.
Was
and
the 26
for that package, but
because I had Mr. Sinister on pre-order, and he was, I think when I pre-ordered him, he was 24. Because I missed the boat on him last time. Now the next one, I wish Matt was here because I want to know if he's interested in this one. And this is Mezco's Green Goblin.
I know T-Man said he passed on it. It looks good.
I mean, if at least we'll finally get a Green Goblin that can stand on his glider respectively.
And I love that glider. I love the glider effects, the hover effects, the jet effects. I love the pumpkin bomb throwing hand.
The mask for the Goblin, I think, is really well done.
Both of them. It looks that glider. The wings move on the glider, so that it adjusts for the pose. I'm surprised they didn't give him. I mean, I know he's got the basic Mezco stand, but I'm surprised they didn't do like a special Mezco like mount for that stand.
Yeah,
for the glider. But I mean, I love those weapon throwing hands.
The thrust effects for the glider are, I think, really well done.
I'm gonna say that Matt is gonna pass on this one.
He probably
make
will.
That decision for him. Say that he's gonna pass.
I feel like there's just this really campy awesomeness. This looks like if they had done the Green Goblin in a live action show, what he would look like. / it also looks like Alex Ross artwork come to life.
That's what I was more thinking. Yeah.
So next up, we get into some NECA stuff. This one is going to be a must buy for me, provided I can get it. This is going to be a convention exclusive. So
I like it. I don't need it, but I like it.
I've always loved it. Like, the Thing is probably I would say it's probably my favorite horror movie of all time.
You know, when it came out, it bombed.
Yes.
And critically panned.
It's like American Psycho. American Psycho is like a movie that, like, critics hated it. It bombed in the theaters, and now it's like such a cult classic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like one I would definitely keep in the packaging.
Well, it was like that Predator the Invisible Predator. Never did find that either.
So I'm hoping NECA doesn't sell out instantly on their site, because I know that's how they sell the SDCC exclusives. I really wish that they would do a like more like what they did with the Haul-a-thon for getting their stuff in stores. But yeah, this is like the one figure I've got to have.
It seems like an odd figure to choose for a.
Well, it's just because it's the theater. I mean, it's basically the poster. That's what it is.
It's 100% the poster, the effects piece, and it's a nice one-off figure for a movie I love.
It's a perfect exclusive because it's a nice to have but not need.
Right. Now, if they do a Brundlefly, oh,
well, that's a different thing altogether.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it's Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. I'm talking like the fully transformed Brundlefly, because the only other one we ever got was the Movie Maniacs one from McFarlane, and that figure does not hold up well. Well, at least it sculpt and paint, yes, but articulation is. All right. Next up, we'll get into the rest of the NECA. I'll move some stuff around. We'll segue into some turtle news. NECA is also doing a Turtles SDCC set, and God, I gotta have this. We're getting our pre-mutation Bebop, Rocksteady, Baxter, and Splinter. And
cool.
I really hope that they do a turtle lair.
This line has legs, man. I didn't really think that they were gonna.
I have a great segue from this too. Like, NECA just kind of took. I mean, they took the ball figuratively and literally from Playmates. Like, Playmates has the license for Turtles, and there's like such a wealth of characters they can do from 4 series, 3 different sets of movies, and they just don't do anything meaningful with it. And it's like they could have done a collector line aimed at older collectors, like akin to Marvel Legends, and they just let NECA take it. And NECA has just, okay, they've been like one of the things that irked me was like how Figuarts would get a license and then just forget about it. And
yeah, Street Fighter.
We're gonna talk about that next. Because yeah, Street Fighter, it's like you have like such a wealth of characters you could do, and you could churn them out, and they're not that hard to do. And like the thing I appreciate about NECA, and yeah, there's some warts with NECA stuff, like the joints and the QC, but for what it's worth, there are no repaints in this line. These are all, every one, it's like brand new original mold.
Oh yeah.
So they're really like going for broke with this turtle line.
Yes and no. I mean, they'll redo deco like with the movie lines and stuff.
Well, sure, but I think, and like there was that weird glow in the dark Muckman, which, hey,
that was an exclusive.
It's an exclusive. But to be fair, like the redecos for the movie line, those are like, they're at least semi meaningful. Like you have Splinter Spirit, and that was a Loot Crate exclusive, and you have the Farmhouse Casey in April, and hey, if you want it, you got it, But yeah, they're going for broke with the turtle stuff. I mean, I'm really shocked and pleasantly surprised. Like, the other reason I missed out on that Mouser pack, at least with this, you get Baxter and a legit Mouser. So if I never get that Mouser multi pack, at least with this set, I can get it all. So, yeah, hopefully this isn't a pain in the ass to get through their store. But yeah, I'm 100% in on that, and I definitely want a turtle lair, because I can put that on a shelf and set it up as a little display. I mean, it looks like they've already sculpted the couch, the TV stand. So, it'd be cool if they did that.
May have to commission some artist that we have here to make one for you.
I could. Hey, Dave, if you want to give me the turtle lair as a wedding gift, I will accept.
I'm sure Lexi would love that.
Hey, this is for Jordan. Here you go. It's his turtle lair. So, next up, we've got more turtle news. We've got 3 turtle articles. So, going from like, hey, NECA, you're doing a great job with turtles, we get, hey, Playmates, what the fuck are you doing with the toy line that you have the rights to? So we got those weird versus packs with Cobra Kai. And I think Cobra Kai, with its popularity, should have just got its own toy line. I think people would have been like, I watched Cobra Kai a few months ago. I was like, wow, this is a great, it's not, I want to say great. This is a really fun show. I like these characters. I would have liked them to do like their own Cobra Kai line. Instead, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Cobra Kai. Now we're getting Street Fighter versus Turtles, and we're getting terrible sculpts of Street Fighter characters.
Terrible. I have zero desire for any of this.
We get Leonardo versus Ryu, Chun-Li versus Michelangelo, Guile versus Raphael. I can't wait to see how they do Guile's hair and face, and Ken versus Donatello. Like Chun-Li looks passable, but like what's going on with these paint decos? These don't look like
scale is horrendous.
Yeah, the scale's terrible. And they just don't look in keeping with like the Street Fighter. There's just such a contrast. You know, I don't know where Playmates got these molds from, but they look KO-ish, if that makes sense, if that's even a word.
Oh yeah.
I really wish they would have gone back to the drawing board and just, hey, if you've got the Street Fighter license, do some Street Fighter figures in the $20 to $25 range that people can afford in the wake of Figuarts giving up on them. I just don't understand like how Playmates is making it as a company these days. It's just really sad to see. So, you know, you've got like one of the most recognizable brands, and you just don't do anything with it other than weird shit like this.
Yep.
So, you know, on that topic, there's another third-party Turtles offering, which makes absolutely zero sense, but I want to be all in on it. We don't know the price or scale, but these are the Heat Boys Mecha Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and these are officially licensed products. Each turtle gets their own mech, and I think these look cool as hell.
Yeah.
Like if the price is right on these,
I definitely have. They definitely have my attention. They definitely have my attention.
Now, is this like?
I love that cloak.
Yeah.
God dang, I love that cloak.
and the
better be
tactical
wired.
goggles.
But this isn't armor that you can remove, and it's.
Well, these are mechs for
Adding-
the turtles. Like if you look here at Leonardo, he actually can sit in the cockpit, in the shell.
Huh. Okay. So are these supposed to be like giant, like Gundam scale
Yeah.
mechs? Okay.
And yeah, there's the sketches of how these are supposed to look in color.
Huh.
Yeah.
How big are these supposed to be?
Well, no scale or price has been revealed yet.
Hmm.
So that's the big question. I'm hoping that these are kind of like I don't know, like robot spirit size. Like I don't think that they need to be huge. I just hope that they have like die-cast and articulation, and that they come in at a decent price. I'm hoping like in at about $100 a piece.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it'd be like models.
If they were models, I also wouldn't mind. Yeah, there's nothing on here saying that they're model kits. Yeah, okay, so I take that back. These are going to be 9 inches tall.
9 inches tall.
Yeah. And yeah, scrolling down here, there is like an additional picture of the Leonardo. But yeah, I mean, this is like good use of a license. Make a cool product. Make something that, you know, captures the essence of the characters. Has a really good art style. I just hope that the pricing is there. It's a shame that, like, you know, other companies are doing so much better by the brand than like the OG. It's sad. Like, as long as Playmates has been around, they haven't been able to adapt in the ways that Mattel and Hasbro definitely have. So next up,
the concept behind something like this, though, is like completely tracks with the kind of like story that you would get in either some kind of crossover comic where the turtles are, you know, battling giant monsters or something, and then someone happens to come along and say, "Oh, we just happen to have made giant mechs that look just like you guys. Here you go."
I would say like Donatello would take the technology that Krang uses for his suit to, you know.
It's just
that
like they would
that thing had
find
mass
whatever
shifting in
reason
it.
they could to get them into mech suits. And
yeah. Roland Rage says these are the same turtle figures they've been reusing for 15 years, going back to that. But he also says it feels like the 90s again, and I might be getting turtled out. I don't want to say I'm getting turtled out, but at the same time, there are some really obscure characters that I don't want. But in the case of something like this is like Turtles, mechs, but I want that crossover Transformers, Turtles figure.
It boils down to the fact that they're mechs. Okay.
Yes.
I can put them with a Gundam shelf. I can put them with other things. Heck, I can put them with my Pacific Rim figures that I bought, you know, with the worst case of FOMO I ever had.
Yeah, I mean,
we all bought them.
You could display these by themselves, and they would look, you know, fine, just like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could put these toe to toe with like a SOC type at 9 inches. You know, like a Gundam. I think some of the Pacific Rim stuff though might be a little small.
I'm just saying, like.
Yeah.
Just don't ever look up 10-inch Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Don't? Okay. I'll Google that right now.
That was not the smartest thing I ever did.
Next up, we got one. I think Dave is probably going to be the only person other than me to know of this. 52 Toys or 52 Toys got the rights to do Captain Commando.
Freaking finally! I was just talking about that the other day. To T-Man. This is what I've been wanting, man. Now, there's an obscure franchise, which I still have no idea why Capcom would freaking let this go, because their company is named after this stupid thing. That, Joe, was Capcom. Captain Commando.
Hey, I'm not familiar with Captain Commando.
Yeah. Captain Commando, Capcom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically now relegated to being like a guest fighter in certain games.
Well, that right there is why am I drawing a blank? Go back. That's no. That guy right there. Why I'm drawing a blank on his name? That's Popeye's enemy. That's
not
right
Bluto.
there.
That's not Bluto.
Oh, well, this is Dynasty Wars Guan Yu. So they're also doing Dynasty Wars here. I'm not too familiar with Dynasty Wars. Unless this is supposed to be Dynasty Warriors.
That's not a Dynasty Warrior.
This is
I don't know that
Pig
one.
White's Beast Box Creature. So it looks like maybe they're doing multiple things here. The first 4 are definitely Captain Commando figures. Let's scroll up here.
Captain Commando.
Okay, so Dynasty Wars, Dynasty of the Empire, and then, okay, so they're doing Captain Commando in there. Okay, so this is multiple posts. But Babyhead, Captain Commando himself.
Mac the Knife. That's who I
Mac
use.
Knife
Mac
there.
the Knife.
And Ginzu.
Oh, Ginzu, right. Ginzu? No, Ginzu's a ninja and Mac the Knife, yeah.
Yeah. You know, Mac Tonight from McDonald's was supposed to be a parody of Mac the Knife, the song.
You know, that's the guy who played Mac the Knife in the commercials is the same guy who plays Ed Sapien and the Fawn
Oh, shit.
from Pan's
It's
Labyrinth.
Doug Jones.
Yeah, it's Doug Jones.
Yeah. And I guess our
Told
last
you,
little
man,
bit of
you do
news.
not want to get into trivia with me.
Hey, I knew it was Doug Jones. All right, last bit of news for the evening. We get a good look from Storm Collectibles. And again, this is a company, I got to give them props for them holding on to a franchise and delivering. We get a look at Liu Kang, both completed. Not only do we get a look at the complete version of Liu Kang, but his dragon form. So, I think this looks amazing. Yeah, this has been floating around. The prototype for the dragon has been floating around since 2017. So this has been
Finally, not a
long.
ninja.
Yeah, finally not a ninja. Though, I mean, really, this year we got what? Kung Lao, Kintaro's been delayed and delayed and delayed again.
He'll be worth the wait. He'll be worth
I
the wait.
think he will. I'm glad that they're taking their time on him and not rushing him out. But it'll be nice to get 2 figures that aren't repaints of ninjas, because they still have Ermac and Rain and
I don't know. Well,
Noob Saibot, Smoke, that they can do an Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 styling.
I wouldn't mind a new Saibot.
I think Noob Saibot would work best as a 2-pack
With
with
Smoke?
himself.
Oh, yeah.
Or, you know, Noob and Smoke would make sense, but I think I would like to see Smoke come with a ton of effects pieces. I'd like to see 2
Well,
Noob Saibots.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
I've got
a
the Smoke. The first Smoke came with a ton of effect pieces, which was absolutely awesome.
I mean, that's like one thing about this line is they started out with a hybrid aesthetic, and then they've moved just to Mortal Kombat 3 for the most part. Like ride, or I guess let's be generous. Let's say Mortal Kombat Trilogy is the aesthetic that they've gone with, because we've seen Kano. Kano's probably coming this year. He'll probably be closer to the end of the year. I think Liu Kang would probably be their release, following Kintaro. It would be nice if they just did all this as a set.
I agree.
But I know there are some people that probably don't want the dragon form of Liu Kang.
They'd be wrong, but okay.
I agree. I think they'd be wrong. But I think, you know, for me, I want to have Liu Kang and the dragon.
Right. So, cool. This thing's almost done.
Yeah. Because, like, really, we need Sonya. We need Sindel, Melina, Katana. And I think
we need
really,
the females. We absolutely need the females. I'm surprised they haven't done that because of them being palette swaps. That would be another printing money.
Yeah, and they're individual weapons that aren't really that complex. I mean,
Right.
I'm pretty sure they've already done size. Katana, I thought we had seen a prototype of in the past.
Well, I'm just saying. I agree. I mean, they should do the females, and they have 2 runs of doing them with the weapons. You got Katana, Melina, and Jade.
But yeah, I mean, I think that they've pretty much.
I think they lost out some money opportunity by holding out on them.
I agree. Yeah, I think at that point, like, Nightwolf and Striker would be nice. Cabal would be awesome. I would love to see them do.
I agree.
But I mean, they've got the Cyber Ninjas complete. They've got the core cast, your Sub-Zero, Reptile, Scorpion, and your unmasked Sub-Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, I take that back. Shang Tsung would be amazing.
Well, we have Shang Tsung. We have all his form. I have all his Shang. Every figure I have is Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung in his Mortal Kombat 3 sorcerer incarnation.
So was that the last one?
That was the last thing I had on the news docket. So
All
we
right.
can go ahead and wrap it up here. T-Man saying Joe is chill. Hey, he learned from the best. Can't wait for Morgan from Dark Souls.
I had a long journey. I climbed the never-ending mountain of stairs, and I spent many a nights in Temple of Chill with Master T-Man, and I'm still nowhere near as chill as he is.
Damn. There we go. That's the note right there to go off on.
Well, that'll wrap it up for tonight's episode. Thanks everybody that came and hung out with us in that live chat over there. Enjoyed talking to you, highlighting your comments throughout the course of the evening. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell. And, if you're watching us not live, drop a comment. We check our comments. We'll give you a reply back. And as always, we love you guys. We'll see you all on the next one. Make sure you ring that notification bell because the contest info, I swear, will be going up this weekend. And peace out. We'll see you all on the next one. Have a great night.
Later,
and an awesome 3-day weekend if you get one.
Yeah.